Greetings, IndyCar enjoyers, and welcome to the first part of the Iowa double feature. Here's to hoping that Chevrolet or Penske will redeem themselves. Before the race went underway, a tornado showed up and threatened the cancellation of the race itself. As a result, practice and qualifying had to be delayed. Good thing the race still went on. Joshua Jefferson would be the guy to give off the command to start their engines in race 1. And Lundgaard has issues trying to get his car started. Because of that, he had to start in the back. But anyways, the first race of the Iowa Doubleheader weekend begins with Newgarden jumping to the lead. And we already get a caution as Herta loses control. Dang it! The caution ends with Newgarden continuing to lead. Yes, this could be Chevrolet's redemption arc that I've been wanting to see. Palou just got past Rosenquist for third. Daly is trying to run down Newgarden, and it's clear that he does not want him to win again, but isn't able to do so as he is just too fast. Newgarden's lead gap starts increasing to 1.2 seconds, and he's not slowing down. Newgarden starts catching up to lap traffic. Meanwhile, Scotty Mack just jumped up to 16th. Rasmussen also nearly caused a caution, but he thankfully saved it. Dixon moves up to 5th. Meanwhile, Newgarden starts falling back as he has to deal with lap traffic and has to try his best to keep Daly at bay. And Jacob Abel wrecks out and causes yet another caution. Several drivers come down to pit road during caution. Daly fell back as he had issues down pit road. Hopefully, he'll bounce back. The caution ends with Newgarden continuing to lead. Even cautions can't stop him. O Ward and Dixon battle for third, and Daly tries to catch up. Daly is now in 4th. Oh man, Palou just fell back to 4th. Daly is now in 3rd, while Will Power's trying his best to get past Palou. O Ward would be the first driver to become a threat to Newgarden as he's right behind him. So far, it's a Chevy 1-2-3 as Newgarden, O Ward, and Daly currently have the top 3 spots. And then all of a sudden, Kirkwood wrecks out and causes the next caution. Dang, so much for him winning another oval race. But he's fine though. He'd be in the second race. He got his car fixed, unlike another driver who I will mention later on. Several drivers come down to pit road, and Palou jumps up to 3rd yet again as his pit crew is just that good. But anyways, the caution ends with Newgarden and O Ward battling for the lead. Daly is running down Palou and isn't able to pass him. Power manages to get past Siegel for 5th, and before you know it, he gets past Daly and is now running down Palou. Meanwhile, Rasmussen is now in 6th. Wait, what? Looks like luck is on his side. And just like that, Power managed to get past Palou. Rasmussen comes down to pit road to refuel his car and get fresh tires. Scotty Mack gets past Daly for 6th, while Newgarden and O Ward continue to go at it. Newgarden is next to come down to pit road, and O Ward joins in alongside him. Holy crap, O Ward just got past Newgarden. Yeah, I do believe that O Ward got into pit road later than Newgarden did, which is probably why he made that incredible move. And props to him, by the way, because that was an excellent move, and you know that McLaren is still good no matter which series they're in. Ah, crap. The caution just came out as Siegel lost control and managed to wreck his car. Oh no. Ferrucci comes down to pit road, and the race gets red flagged. Dang it! At least this time it made sense as he took a really hard hit. Yeah, the hit was so hard that Nolan Siegel basically suffered a concussion. Here's to hoping that he'll be in next weekend's race, but McLaren does have a standby driver, but unfortunately it's not Tony Kanaan. It's some Indy NXT guy. Yeah, they have a reserve driver on standby just in case if Nolan Siegel isn't able to do it. So yeah, all is good. The race gets back to yellow. The race eventually restarts with O Ward leading. Rasmussen gets past Palou, and just when things were going to get good, Ilott caused yet another caution. He had to come down to pit road to get his rear wing fixed, as he got some damage done to his rear wing. Hopefully, we'll get a full lap in this time around. The caution ends with, yep, you guessed it, O Ward continuing to lead, and Power and Scotty Mack battle each other for third. Palou got 5th back from Rasmus. O Ward and Newgarden continued to battle for the lead, and the race just got intense. And just like that, O Ward manages to win race number 1 at Iowa and takes home Chevrolet's first win of 2025. Yes! Finally got to see Chevrolet win. Like, as much as I like seeing Palou win, he is overrated by a lot of IndyCar guys, which is ironic considering that Mario Andretti and Alonso Sr. never got that when they were dominant. Like, it makes you wonder. Double standards, everyone? Like, yeah, it makes you wonder if they have double standards. Anyways. Race number 1 of Iowa gets a 9 out of 10. Penske was so close to winning, but it was McLaren that sealed the deal as O Ward managed to fend off Newgarden for his epic Iowa win. But anyways, on to race number 2. Hopefully Chevrolet will get a win at race number 2 as well. Greetings, IndyCar enjoyers, and welcome to the second part of the Iowa double feature, where we continue our journey for the Iowa Doubleheader weekend, whether if it's live or watching it on TV. After the special guest gives off the command to start their engines, the second race of the Iowa Doubleheader weekend begins with Alex Palou jumping to the lead, and the caution just came out with Scotty Back and Devlin DeFrancesco both wrecking their cars after they lost control. I'm hoping that they are fine, unlike Nolan Siegel, who suffered a mild concussion. Yeah, Nolan's crash was so bad that he had to go to the hospital, as mentioned previously. I'm hoping that I honestly feel bad for his current situation. I'm just hoping that he'll show up at next weekend's race. The caution ends with Palou continuing to lead. Malukas attempts to get past Will Power, only for him to fall back. Newgarden gets past Rosenquist and is now running down Palou. Power starts falling behind as he has issues with his car. Robert Schwartzman jumps up to 9th. Malukas overtakes Rosenquist for 3rd. Both Palou and Newgarden start catching up to lap traffic. Will Power is now out of the race. Dang it, seems to be what he's gotten himself into so far. Every single time I think Will Power is going to be doing good until a freaking engine issue occurs because of how leadership in Penske changed. Yeah, like, it's way worse than seeing Will Power go a lap down in turbo, believe me. Like, it's one thing for Will Power to go a lap down in turbo, but him having engine issues and mechanical failures, geez, they really need to improve his situation. And besides, his contract is expiring. His Penske contract is expiring this year, so it'll be his last time at Penske. Jeez. Just when O Ward got past Daly for 5th, another caution comes out, with Stingray Robb wrecking out again. He also wrecked out last year. Dang, he's not having any luck at Iowa. Several drivers come down to pit road during caution, and Palou is the first to come out. David Malukas also had issues down pit road. Dang it, if there's anyone that I don't want to see have a bad day, it's David Malukas. Because I'm always rooting for David Malukas. David Malukas and Alex Palou are the two drivers that I'm rooting for, except David Malukas is not as overrated as Alex Palou is, despite Alex Palou being really good. Like, he's kind of like Max Verstappen or, well, Jimmy Johnson back in his prime. Because I believe a lot of people overrated Jimmy Johnson as well because he was winning so much. Yeah, what goes around comes around, am I right? Robert Schwartzman also got penalized, but anyways, the caution ends with Palou and Newgarden battling for the lead, and before you know it, Newgarden gets past him. Daly holds off Dixon for 6th. Like before, Newgarden and Palou start catching up to lap traffic. Lap traffic is not much of an issue for Newgarden as he's now over a second ahead of Palou. Holy crapper! Malukas is riding down Palou and he's battling him for 2nd. Malukas yields the position to Palou after he got caught up in lap traffic. But wait! The battle continues and Malukas and Palou trade blows as they have to deal with Lundgaard. Newgarden comes down to pit road and gives up the lead to Palou, and then the caution just came out as Marcus Ericsson wrecked his car. Ericsson is now out of the race. Several drivers come down to pit road during caution, yet again. Also during the caution, we get an animation of the Dallara car and how front downforce works, but anyways. The caution ends with Malukas and Palou battling for the lead. Newgarden gets past Herta and had to make up some positions after a failed gamble. Yeah, things aren't looking good for Penske this year, especially with a change in leadership, I swear. He struggles to get past both ECR drivers. And then another caution just came out with Caleb Eilert losing control and hitting the wall. Just like that, Palou's lead gap goes away. as expected, we do get our pit stops, and this time Kyle Kirkwood is leading during caution as he stays out. So no, Kirkwood is not out of the second race, but anyways. The caution ends with Palou and Kirkwood battling for the lead, and Palou managed to retake the lead. Newgarden jumped up to 5th and fell back to 6th after he got overtaken by O Ward. Holy crapper, Malukas almost got past Palou again! Yeah, like, there's no stopping Palou, man. The two continued to go at it until Palou was able to get away from him with a 1-second lead gap. His lead gap starts shrinking away as he gets caught up in lap traffic yet again. Both drivers have to deal with Newgarden, who is getting closer and closer. Holy crapper! Newgarden gets past Malukas and is right behind Palou, and before you know it, Newgarden gets the lead back and Malukas is in second. Newgarden and Malukas had to come down to pit road and Palou is back in the lead. And then another caution just came out as Colton Herta got into the wall and blew a tire. Several drivers come down to pit road, but anyways. The caution ends with Palou jumping to the lead, and Dixon manages to get past Armstrong for second. If you were expecting another Chevy or different driver to win, I'm sorry to say this, but Palou wins again. I was hoping that Newgarden was going to win the second race, as I want 2 Chevys to win both races, but alas, that didn't happen. And this race gets an 8 out of 10, and by this point, barely anyone can stop Palou. And I was surprised that he won at an oval. Yeah, Alex Palou winning at an oval is an abnormal sight. It's kind of like David Beckham entering rugby and suddenly getting so good at it, or Austin Matthews joining the NFL and winning the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's what Alex Palou winning the Indy 500 was like. Austin Matthews joining the NFL and suddenly getting so good and winning the Super Bowl. It's pretty rare to see him win on an oval. Kind of like Sebastian Bourdais, who was in the Champ Car World Series and was a pretty dominant driver. And think about it. Sebastian Bourdais was racing the Champ Car World Series, and the Champ Car World Series had no hybrid powertrains. And they only had those twin turbocharged V8s, and there was only one engine manufacturer, Cosworth. And the engines were badged as Fords. And guess what? Even as a driver's championship, there was still dominance, so yeah. You can still have dominance no matter which series it is. And the Champ Car World Series proves it. And the IndyCar Series proves it as well. Like, you can have spec chassis, you can have equal performance, you can have one engine manufacturer, but you can't take away dominance. But anyways, next weekend is the race where I expect Palou or a Honda driver to win, as it's related to Honda. And no, it's not the hybrid system, as Palou's dominance has nothing to do with the hybrid system, by the way. He's just that good, alright? He's unstoppable. He's a talent. He's a great talent. All I have to say now is catch you guys next time and peace out.